Welcome to the Sisters Like Us podcast. I'm Lakin.
And I'm Allie, and we're here to share our perspectives as sisters from two different generations.
So grab a glass of wine
Or a bottle.
and let's dive in.
Hello, episode 6 of the Sisters Like Us podcast. We thought we would bounce back to a very specific generational conversation and talk about slang, because that is something that has definitely popped up between us, where really the other way around, where you'll say something and I'll be like, I don't know what you meant by that. And you have to explain it to me. But we're going to start with the millennial list, and then we'll go to your list. So the first one on this list I found is adulting.
Okay.
And so I think what we should do is I should if it is applicable, but then you need to share if you feel like your generation still uses it, or do you think it's annoying?
Okay. Like adulting mean I'm adulting, calling the doctor by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't use that.
No. And I feel like that's definitely something the millennials came up with.
Yeah. I don't think it's annoying, but yeah.
Apparently millennials also are claiming bae.
Y'all can have that one.
I think it's annoying. I don't like that word.
Bae. I mean, I did say bae. It means before anyone else, if anyone's
If you don't know what that word means, that's B-A-E, before anyone else. I don't like it.
But that song, if you got a bae or not, that's not your generation.
No, but I think it ended up in that song because
maybe bae just started with you guys and then we took it.
I think so. Same thing here. Basic.
Basic is still a thing. It's still used.
Yeah. Some of these are actually kind of silly. I'm not gonna lie. Fam, short for family, but not used to describe your actual family.
Oh, I love how our group chat is literally called #fam.
Yeah, our family, our actual family.
Parker used fam a lot.
Yeah, and he's that kind of borderline.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's very specifically millennial. Lit, apparently, is millennial.
I think, again, maybe you started it and we took it type thing.
Yeah.
Because I used lit all the time. I still say lit.
But it does say here in
litty.
Well, so that's funny that you say that, because the description says boomers and Gen Xers used it as a synonym for drunk, whereas millennials made it a synonym just for hyped up. Kind of the same thing, though.
Yeah, I'm just being funny with my friends, we're gonna go out, we're gonna get litty.
Yeah.
Lit.
Yeah.
But also I'm oh my god, this is lit. This is so fun.
This is so, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't use it as much as I used to, but I definitely still use it.
Savage.
Yeah.
I've never really used that word.
I have.
Shipping. When you're shipping a relationship, especially on TV shows and books, I ship that. I feel like I've seen that in a lot of places, but I've never really used it.
I've used it. I feel like the thing with slang is there's those specific ones that are used a lot now in my generation. I think it's just one of those things that have changed. It changes over time.
I think that's fair.
Is why it's kind of hard. All of those that you guys have used, we have also used.
Yeah, and just may mean something different. Whereas the other way around, the ones that you come up with, we have never used. Yeah. Because it's now. Well, so that's funny. That's the next one on the list. Slay.
Slay. No, because slay didn't start, a couple months ago, slay started.
Yeah, I feel like slay is a new, not the word slay, obviously, but it being a slang for
So I feel
saying slay all the time.
I feel okay, so I think when your generation used it, it was oh my god, the same way fierce, you know,
fierce.
Oh my god, that's so slay for you, that's so slay, but now it's we're just I'm having a conversation with my friends and it's oh my god, slay.
Those are all the ones that come from this article about actual words. I feel like there's a couple of other phrases. On fleek is another one I feel that millennials used a lot.
Yeah.
That doesn't really apply anymore. Ghosting.
See, ghosting's not slang. That's just a thing.
That's a new word.
Yeah, it's just okay, you get ghosted. True. So one of the things I will say, I feel with our generation, it's less slang and creating new words, but we shorten words.
That's true.
I say gorge all the time.
For gorgeous?
Yeah. I'm that's gorge.
Or sus.
Sus.
That's another thing your generation says.
That's really sus.
You can't just say the whole word.
Because when things are suspicious, that's serious. When things are sus, it's wait, that's kind of sus.
Light suspicious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I feel that's definitely something your generation has done. Okay, I'm going to move to the Gen Z list because I do think these are funnier also because I only say because I learned them from one of my siblings.
Perfect.
It's giving.
Oh yeah, it's giving.
Yeah. This article also gives you examples. Her outfit is giving 2012.
Yeah.
So funny.
But like, so there's two ways that you could say it's giving. So like someone could send like them and like my friends could send like an outfit picture and it's super cute and I'd be like, oh my god, that's giving. And that's it.
Oh, there's not like a word after.
Like that's just giving. Like love that. Like it's giving. Or like it could be like that where like, oh my god, that's giving like 2015. Like
that's how I feel like I use it now. If I'll be like, oh, I'm wearing something specific and I'll be like, it's giving some kind of character. Or it's giving like
instead of being like, oh, like it's giving like you're giving right now.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah. I don't use it as much, but like I've definitely said that.
So the next one on the list is slay. So apparently that one
Slay.
also, you know, is both.
I'm a big slay gal.
The term era.
Era. Yeah.
But really Taylor Swift started that.
No. No.
Really? Do like the whole like the number of
if
captions?
She started that. Well, yes, but like she did that because era was already a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just see so many captions nowadays that are like in my blank era.
Yeah. Well, definitely more so now that Taylor Swift, but like even before that, yeah, that was my like drinking era. Like, oh, that was my college era. Like that was my freshman year era. Like it was huge.
So you think era was a thing before?
Yeah, I mean the Taylor Swift thing is like not even a year old.
No, I know it's not.
And I said that before.
You did. Okay. See, I didn't hear it. And so
it is more used now for sure.
Yeah.
But like no, I definitely said that.
So
like,
lit is also on your list too. That's funny.
It's giving my freshman year lit era.
Way to use all of the slang in
Slay.
one sentence. Slay. Situationship.
Yeah. So
I mean that one just kind of that kind of makes sense.
But no, I do think we invented that. I think I invented situationship.
Allie,
do you remember there was a day that I was like, I said this in high school. I said situationship, and I think I started it.
Really? You single one person in Naperville, Illinois started the word situationship.
I think I did, because I said, well, it's not a relationship, but it's like a situation. And I said, I think it's like a situationship, and everyone laughed.
So here's the thing. I think in general, probably the concept of slang is that there are more than one more than one person, more than one people, however you say that, out there in the world that come up with it or start saying it separately. And then it expands and then eventually it becomes like a whole thing.
Okay, fair.
Because the first place I heard somebody say that was not you. Sorry. Whereas like the word, which I'm sure is on this list somewhere, that I did hear from you the first time is the word bet.
Yeah, I do remember you being like, what?
What the heck does that mean? And you had to explain it to me.
Yeah. So I guess that's another thing that we could talk about, like, after we go through this list, is, like, text shortened things. Because, like, I say, like, OFC, like, of course. And I don't say the word just. I just put the word J.
Or V, for very. Your generation started that. Like,
yeah.
That
I will say the only reason I used the J is because my ex did that, and then I just, like, started doing it, and then I was like, now I only use the word J. Yeah, like, I feel like text shortening.
Yeah, that is something that, yes. And that, well, what's funny about that though is that, you know, my generation obviously did a lot of shorthand stuff when we did like instant messenger, right? Like, we started LOL and BRB and those kinds of things. But yours is almost like not necessarily just the acronym kind of shorten.
Like we just want to shorten everything.
Right.
We like everything.
So the next one on the list is a shorten. It's Riz instead of charisma.
I knew this was going to come up because
I've never heard this.
This Riz, I feel like it's even brand new. It's brand new.
This article is from May, so.
Yeah, so brand new.
Yeah.
I actually am just now hearing that it's shortened for charisma. I didn't even know that.
But you'd heard the
phrase Riz. I learned it from TikTok, and I had to look on TikTok. What does Riz mean? What is a Riz? And then I got it. So it's like having game.
Yes, that's what the example says.
So like being able to like pick up, you know.
That guy has Riz, he can get any girl he wants is what.
Like me and my friends, like one of my friends, we call her like the Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz.
Because she just like has such a good game.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you can think of? Like words that you use? Like what do you say regularly? One of the things I feel like I say regularly that I don't know where it came from is yikes.
Yikes. Oh my god, something I used to say all the time was vibes. Do you remember
vibes.
That? I had a whole like phase of my life where I was just like when things were just happening, I was like vibes.
I think just the word vibe in general is definitely a slang that gets used a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's a vibe, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, going back to, like, the texting thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like also my generation just, like, takes vowels out of words.
Yes.
Like, I've typed in a text very without an E.
Just VRY.
Yes. Like, it's saving
One less letter.
Mm-hmm.
The V I get, I mean, it saves you all of 3 letters, but that's something I feel like I remember people starting to do.
Like, I don't know, like LMAO, like LMFAO.
That was definitely my generation.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, it was just I think that was
We got RIP. We say RIP a lot.
Oh, yeah,
RIP. Or like, oh my god, like you have to take a test today, RIP.
It's so funny because, like, obviously typing, I get it. You type out RIP, but, like, you say it out loud and you say
you
RIP.
say it as RIP.
Instead of RIP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Dead. That's another one I feel like. It's
Yeah, like I'm dead.
I'm dead, yeah. And then which just transitioned into using the skull. That's probably another piece of this. The emojis that each generation has used. Like sometimes,
I love me a good emoji. I'm a huge emoji gal.
Oh, me too. Huge. I mean, we talked about threads in an earlier episode. I'm pretty sure every one of my threads has like an emoji on it because I love emojis. But I think the emojis...
But like emojis like come in and out. Like the laughing emoji like was just like the only emoji anyone ever used. And now it's like if you use that, it's like that's cheapy.
Well,
I
first off, I hate that word.
I also hate that word, but I was like, this is a perfect
time to use it.
To bring up the word chuggy. I hate that word. I think it's stupid. It's just another way of saying basic, I feel like. Basic or like,
plus
or
old.
it's giving 2012.
Yes.
Like, it's the same thing.
Except
like,
I will still use the laughing emoji. I don't care how cheeky it is.
But like the one that's like smiling and has one tear, like, is like my favorite emoji. Like, it's like, like, oh my god. Or the one that's like this.
The saluting one?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I don't understand that emoji. I don't get its meaning.
It's like, got it. Like, I'm on it.
Ah, interesting. I feel like your generation started using the skull. That's what made me think of emojis, right? It was dead and started using the skull. No? And then sometimes you like use the poop emoji and I don't understand why you're using the poop emoji.
I never use it. I just started using it this weekend. It was funny.
Okay. I literally was like, I don't get how this fits into this conversation.
Like sometimes like the emoji, like it's funnier when it makes sense. Like I'm not gonna put like a burger emoji when I'm like talking about something, but like when I put like
the poop emoji. Yeah, I just was like
I on my way, like poop emoji. Like it's just funny.
But emojis definitely do come in and out. And then new ones come and they become popular. I love the melty face emoji.
Love the melty face emoji. Or like the one with like the spiral
eyes. Yeah. Any other text shortening things we're not thinking of either?
I feel like like your generation was like BRB, TTYL. Like,
yeah. Because we said all those things on AIM.
Yeah. You know, I feel like more and more people actually in my generation like have started to just like text like normal person. Like with sentences in capital letters. Oh, that's another thing. Like my texts are uncapitalized.
Yes, that drives me bonkers.
Yeah, so that's my generation.
But it definitely feels like it's been a progression of shortening, right? Like when our parents text, it's like full sentences with periods. Like I'm not going to throw them on the bus, but one of my in-laws texts like as if it's an email. It'll be like, "Hi, Lakin, comma, enter, sent full sentence, period, enter, blah, 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 thanks, name." And I'm like, this is a text.
I feel like it's just like texts like are meant to be shortened.
Yes.
Are meant to be quick, meant to be, I mean, oh my god.
And the person I'm referring to is a boomer. And so then the next level is like our Gen X parents who like at least shorten, like they don't say hi and like put their name at the end of it, but they're still like full sentences usually with like periods and question marks. Mm-hmm. And then my generation was like, okay, we're going to shorten it a little bit. And then your generation is like, how can we make this as short as humanly possible?
As possible, yeah.
Least amount of letters involved.
Mm-hmm. I feel like my generation also is like very like over emotional on text, like lots of exclamation points, lots of emojis, lots of like, it's like, hi, like double letters, like, instead of being like, hey, like, what are you doing today? It's like, hey, like, what's on the agenda for today? Like, it's just like always like, it's just like so much more like.
Extra? Hey, that's one. Extra.
Yeah, extra, yeah. I used to use it a lot. I'm pretty extra.
Yeah, it's pretty applicable. I feel like something that also falls into this category that I brought up last night at dinner was the use of GIFs. GIFs. First off, how do you say that word?
GIFs.
Okay, GIFs. I feel like if I can, 9 times out of 10, want to respond with a GIF. But supposedly I've been made fun of on social media that's a millennial thing. Okay.
I do.
Like we were talking about cheese plates the other night, and I said a GIF of a cheese.
Like I thought that was like kind of weird.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
know
fair.
what the point was. But like
it was, I don't have anything to contribute to this conversation, but I'm acknowledging it with this funny GIF of a mouse eating cheese.
Fair. Okay.
That was kind of the purpose of it.
Oh, another thing that we say, I just thought of, because like I would say like I'm being out of pocket. So out of pocket.
I don't even know what that means.
Out of pocket is like that's like out of pocket, like that, like you didn't need to say that. Or like if someone makes like a comment that's like just like out, like I don't want to say out of pocket, but like.
Okay, I'm gonna have to Google that because you're not doing a good job explaining this to me. And if I have this confused look on my face, I have to imagine that there are other people that also don't understand. It just says wild, ridiculous, extreme.
Comment, usually.
I'm trying to think if there's any other slang that you've said. I feel like my littlest brother. So I mentioned before that I have, my dad and my stepmom have 3 more boys. And so I have brothers who are 14. And they also will say slang words to me that I do not know what they're talking about. And I have to get them to explain it to me. Well, let us know in the comments if you have any other slang that we're not thinking of from either generation or both. I do think the conclusion is like the millennial slang, some of it fades out, but some of it does then carry on. Yeah. Whereas like then the next generation comes up with their slang and the older generations are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that happens to every generation. And it's just figuring out when you have, obviously parents and children are always going to be different generations, but when you have siblings of different generations and you're trying to have a conversation, and you're like, I don't know what you're trying to say. Probably a little bit of a shorter episode, but hopefully it was fun. Just something that does make the generations different for sure. So, all right, that's a wrap. We'll see you next time.
See you guys later.